All right, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash.
Double honors to the elders, great millstone, and to all you brothers out there. We're going to go into faith in this class today. We're going to start in Hebrews chapter 11. Go ahead, kick it off.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
The evidence of things not seen. Really focus on that. The evidence of things not seen. Now, how is that evidence if you don't see it? That's the question. What makes it evidence? Because if you don't, in this world, if you don't see it, it don't exist. If you don't feel it, it don't exist. But that's the difference between the other nations and the Hebrew Israelites. Right there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. They can't ride like that because their power is not a power. In their mind, it's a power, but we know it's all nothing but idol worship. Things that can't save, that can't eat, can't do nothing. Can't run. If it failed, it got to be picked up by you. You see what I'm saying? So read that again.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
So when you align yourself through the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, when you align yourself with the will, that power opens up. Like electricity, that power is open because you are a Hebrew Israelite. That's the only reason that opens up. See, a lot of guys come in this truth and they take it lightly, the power lightly. They just in the hype of being Israel. They really don't really know the essence of what being an Israelite really means for you, for us as a whole, even in captivity. Okay, even before the kingdom of heaven is fully established, that power is opened up as soon as you believe. Go ahead.
I got that word substance, bro.
Okay.
I want to get both those words for you. That word substance in the Greek is hypostasis. All right, and that word literally means here in this text, it says steadiness of mind, firmness, courage, resolution, confidence, firm trust.
Firm trust. Mm-hmm. Firm trust. Man, look. That's why it says, look at the generations of old. It says that for a reason. Because you have an opportunity to walk like he walked, or he walked. Yahweh Shai walked, David walked, etc., etc. You have an opportunity to follow those footsteps. And that's the whole point, is that when all hell break loose, you need to be in this spirit where we're reading. Mm-hmm. This is very important. That's why in Ephesians 6, it says above all. Why does it say above all, take the shield? Because at the end of the day, if you had all, but you didn't have that all outside of the faith ain't going to save you. You know what I'm saying? That's just good information and wisdom to know. Things you can repeat. You know what I'm saying? Scriptures, you know where it's at. You know, okay, that was in the ancient world. Great. All that's good to know. But above all, this is where it's at when it comes to salvation. Go ahead.
That word evidence in the Greek is Strong's G1650, elenchas, which means, it says a proof, that by which a thing is proved or tested. It says, and that by which invisible things are proved, and we are convinced of their reality.
Mm-hmm. Man, read that. Man, read that again.
It says, that by which invisible things are proved, and we are convinced of their reality.
Now, how can you be convinced if you're walking by the sight and not by faith? You can't. So there's a way of being as an Israelite. There's a way of being to fulfill that in your walk, in your individual walk. I can't see it for you. You can't see it for me. But this is a building. This is how you get close to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. This is how you get close to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, man. Right here. You know what I'm saying? It's not about you knowing everything that makes you close. That's not what it is. That's great. Know as much as you can know. Pray. You know, brothers got their own measures, right? You pray for a certain thing, like it says in James chapter 1. You lack wisdom, you pray for it. If you ain't waver, he'll give it to you. So certain things you see that you lacking, yeah, you can pray for it. But the thing is, guess what? You won't get that without faith. So faith is the centerpiece of this whole thing. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 2. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yahweh testifying of his gifts.
All these people that you hear about, these Israelites outside of Yahushua, they weren't perfect, man. They dealt with things like, yeah, the world is wickeder, but it's also nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Wickedness proceeded from the garden. And it carried on and carried on. Why do you think he drowned the earth? The people outside of Noah and his family. So when you look at it, and you hear about David, you hear about Abel, you hear about these different Israelites, don't let your mind get in the trap as if they just floating. They were just floating the whole time. No, they were regular Israelite human beings. Just like you right now. Keep that in mind. Go ahead.
And by it, continuing in verse 4, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death.
By faith he was translated. Not by the Most High faith. By his faith he was translated. Think about that. We want to be translated at the end of the day, right? We want to get beamed up when the Lord comes back. We don't want him to leave us here. That's translated.
Come.
So if by faith he was translated, guess what? By faith you're gonna be translated.
Come.
If you hold on to a pure faith in him, a pure trust in him, with that fear, with works, because without works, faith alone is dead. Having that combination. Go ahead.
That reminds me just what you stated. You have Enoch who was translated, and you also have Elijah who was translated.
Okay.
Now, what you had said really hit home because you said by faith, as the scriptures say, Enoch was translated. And actually when you go into Elijah had spoken his translation into existence. When you read that account in Kings before Elijah was translated, when they traveled to Jericho and they traveled to Jordan, those different regions, you had the children of the prophets, or the sons of the prophets, that had went up to Elisha, and he said, "Are you ready for Elijah to be translated?" They pretty much brought it to his attention. They was like, "We heard that your master is going to be translated," and Elisha was kind of salty, but he brushed it off. He was like, "Yeah." So the moral of it is, if they were aware that Elijah was going to be translated, Elijah probably proclaimed something boldly that we don't know. So they knew that he was going to be translated, and it happened. And just correlating to that belief system that Elijah had at his being translated, if we're the elect, putting on the elect, Lord willing we those men, putting on that faith, believing that we'll be translated too, just like them. We don't know if we're those men, but to walk as children of the light. And within that's gonna pretty much make your calling and election sure.
Right.
And within that's where that translation is gonna come within those chariots, just like Enoch and Elijah and so forth.
Right. Con. And the thing what you're saying is that what we do know is that we in the truth.
Right.
And if you're not sure, then where's your faith? Mm-hmm. So we do know we in this truth. It's about holding on to the crown. So when you read when it says hold on to thy crown, you got to know you got the crown to be able to hold on to it, to not let it go. So it's been revealed to us that this is what it is.
Right.
We just got to endure. But how do you really endure it? Everybody that fought the truth is based off unbelief, being offended, thinking that they can't overcome a situation. Whether it's being pissed off, whether it's, man, I lost my job, I lost my woman. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to move forward, man. This truth ain't for me. Everything is centered around, they left because their faith wasn't there. They lost the faith. You hear Apostle DeHart say that, like, man, those guys lost the faith. That's what it's about. The just shall live by faith.
Yeah, I was just going to say, faith is a gift that's given by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And there's nothing that you can do or nothing that you can say that can pretty much have precedence over what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has in line for you. But with that being said, there's a certain boldness and a certain confidence that you need to walk with while you're in this truth.
Right.
You're not supposed to let And it's easier said than done, of course, but you're not supposed to let outside distractions hinder you from the ultimate mission that's at hand. Mm-hmm. And that's why in Hebrews 11, what the elders are going into is a beautiful account, because if you look at all these different accounts with Abel, with Abraham, Gideon, David, all these men had circumstances externally that could have hindered and shook them up, where they could have been like, you know what, I'm done.
That's right.
Abraham, look at Abraham. He could have easily just been like, I'll sacrifice my child. I don't know who I'm serving. I'm done.
Right.
But he had faith in the Most High through his word. That's why the scripture says faith comes by hearing of the word of the Heavenly Father.
Right. Right. Which proves that's our heritage. So when you come back to being an Israelite and you wake up, those dry bones are waking up because of faith, man. Kind of good.
Yeah, I just want to back up what Tazama just said.
Kind of good.
This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 2. It says, "For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto thee. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it."
Right, it didn't profit. So the only way this truth is going to profit you is that you got to get your faith up, man. There's levels of faith, okay? Because it takes faith to get out there and go teach, right? Mm-hmm. And confront the people. Wicked ass Jake and Edomites that's threatening to pull guns on you, or will pull a gun on you. Mm-hmm. So it takes faith to know that those things could happen, and that even death or whatever could happen, right?
Yep.
But it goes further than that.
And that, if I could say something else, that's why I want to bring that out, because a lot of people get the word belief and faith mixed up as being the same thing, which belief is a component of having faith. That's the first step. That's like a gateway. Mm-hmm. But then, of course, after you believe, if you have faith, that faith gonna compel action. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna compel you to actually do something to show that belief.
That's a great point.
Because you got a lot of Israelites out there, they see the videos and they know it's the truth. They believe, they agree. Mm-hmm. But then it's not mixed with faith, because a lot of them, they sitting on their hands. Right. They're not going out to teach. That shows a lack of faith.
Great point.
Now, Thomas believed, but he had a moment where he didn't.
Mm-hmm. Kind.
Why? Yeah. Because there's levels.
Kind.
You know what I'm saying? Yahushua, was calling him out to teach, like, look, man, you didn't see it, but hey, man, why come you don't believe the report? You don't believe the report because you don't believe that they're telling the truth, or you just don't believe it happened, period. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, why? What's your reason? Oh, you don't think it's possible that we can do this, that the powers can do this? You see?
I got a quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17. It says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord."
The heritage.
Got to be an Israelite, right? Got to have that faith. Right. We're the only ones that are able to have that faith. Mm-hmm. That weapon formed against you, no matter what's put in front of you, it clearly says right here, it's not going to prosper. But you have to really have faith within that. We're the only people on the planet Earth, you said earlier, that actually have that access to that eternal purpose, man.
Somebody get Baruch chapter 4, I think it's verse 3.
I can get it
real quick.
4,
Get some go with that.
Mm-hmm. This is Baruch 4 and 3.
You know what? Start the top.
Kind of.
And go to 3.
Kind of. This is Baruch 4 and 1. It says, "This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life."
Keep what? The word. Now you can't keep the law. Mm-hmm. So what's it talking about? You can't keep the law.
Right.
That's why the Lord Yahushua came down here. So what is it saying that they keep it? It's that faith. It's the hearing of the word, man. The volume of the book and understanding and believing it. Okay, go ahead.
It says, "For all they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take heed of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof."
Now, faith, without faith is death. Mm-hmm. With faith is life. Mm-hmm. That's why after the split sea, he was killing them all. Why? Because they had no faith. Mm-hmm. You see how that works? Go ahead.
Back in verse 2. "Turn thee, O Jacob, and take heed of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof. that thou mayest be illuminated.
Illuminated. Now, either you believe the truth or not. Okay? This same book tells you that Esau is the devil. The same book tells you that America is Babylon. But when it comes to when he says, look, just believe and only believe, you get jittery. Why? You know, this past week I've been really meditating about how stupid that is. We all fall short, we get it. But it doesn't take away of how stupid that is. Mm-hmm. It's very stupid to walk around, and we all guilty of it. It's very stupid to walk around to not believe just because of what you're seeing. When he already told you that, look, don't walk by sight, walk by faith. You believe I am he. Why are you fearful? We know all these stories about Yahweh Shah and shit with the disciples, and we know all these stories, man. It's time to implement that part of the scriptures on another level. That's how you're going to survive whatever come your way. This is about enduring. How do you endure? You endure with the faith. Faith pushes you through these situations versus you getting offended and fainting. And now you got to go back in the world because you just can't take it no more. That's the difference. Okay? Go ahead.
This is verse 3. Shalom. It says, verse 3, give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation.
You know what's profitable to us? What we were saying. It's for the Israelites.
It's our heritage. That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's what's profitable to us. Go ahead.
It says, O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us.
Now we know in the same chapter 11 that we going into, it speaks about it's impossible to please him. Right. So we know what's pleasing to him, man. Through the stories, it was pleasing for Abraham to do what he did because of faith. Mm-hmm. And after that, he said, you know what, you my friend.
Right.
You know, look, he said, you know, we tight. We want to be tight like that with Yahweh Shem Shai. We want them to marvel at our individual faith. Mm-hmm. And if we bring that faith together collectively, that's another level right there. If you zone in on it, man. You got to take time to meditate about where your faith is for real, for real. Look in the mirror and say, you know what? How would I react in a situation? Watch yourself daily and catch yourself. Really mark it down your brain and your spirit and catch yourself when you over-exaggerate, when your heart starts beating fast because of the situation, and you don't sit there to think about Yahweh Shem Shai is in control. Mm-hmm. You have to do that so you can fix it, so you can climb that ladder of faith. Right. There's levels, man. There's steps. Okay? Then that's it on that. Go back to who you said.
Hebrews chapter 11, I read verse 5 again. It says, by faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased the Most High.
He pleased him, and we know it was because of faith. Mm-hmm. Plus works. Okay? Mm-hmm. He pleased him to the Lord. You know, let's get him out of here. Come on, man. That's big time. And that's only available. That's only possible if you are a Hebrew Israelite. So the opportunity we got is big time. Mm-hmm. Don't get so comfortable and get so used to just, oh, I'm an Israelite. Don't allow Satan to trick you to make you think it's just a normal thing. No.
Right.
When you read the story, it just ain't normal, man. Right. To the average people that's on the planet. Mm-hmm. That's why we were feared so much. That's why Esau worked so hard at taking us down.
That's right. Exactly.
Because he knew the specialness of, of Israel being the apple of Yahweh Shem Shai's eye. Mm-hmm. That's big time, man. That's not to be played with, man. We get it. Day in and day out, there can be all kinds of distractions coming your way. Trust me, we all know. But the thing is, there come a time when you take it to another level. There come a time when you stop letting the same shit get you startled. I'm talking about when you get startled. When you get that faith zapped out of you because of a moment of what you're seeing. It can happen very quickly. Literally, one little second can zap the faith you had in you out for that second. All because you're scared, because now you're focused on a what if. right? Versus what is. Well, we know what is. He is. Scripture say he is. What if it's just delusions?
Yep.
It has to be delusions when he controls the outcome and you don't. So why are you what if on an outcome that he controls?
Yeah.
Do you know how heavy that can play a burden in your life every day?
Because you focused on things that aren't eternal at the end of the day, man. If you focus on on the eternal,
At some point.
and you focus on the things that we can't see, right? Which
That's
we know
evidence.
That's the evidence. The things that we can't see. We know the things that are from above are more powerful than the things that are below. That's why Apostle Gabar said, "You fear the things that you can't see versus the things that you can." You know what I'm saying? And looking at the scenario situation around you, whereas it's like, oh damn, I can't eat, or I can't drink, or damn, my wife left me, or I lost my job. You looking at that scenario situation shows you that if you harp on it, I'd rather say, and you been out of shape about it, you don't have faith that the Most High can fix that scenario situation.
Right.
You know?
Kind.
Right. And guess what? That don't look good. You know what I'm saying? That don't look good when you thinking about the eyes from the heaven looking down on you as an individual believer. Don't look good. You know what I'm saying? That's not good in your resume. That's not good on your Hebrew Israelite resume to make it to the kingdom, so to speak. You know, you see what I'm saying? So that's what we have to fix, and we have to tune it up. Each individual has to be serious about this and tune it up. Stop focusing on other shit that don't matter. Get rid of the outside noise, because that's all it is. It's outside noise to get your attention. But what do you think Satan's doing?
It's his job.
Hey, this is a spiritual war for real. It's all right here. And you have a chance to win just by believing and not caring about the other shit. Right? Sounds simple, but it really is. But we all know that it could be difficult because of where we're at. But it takes prayer for more faith and believing that you're going to get it to get rid of that. If you sincerely pray, if you have a problem with sudden fear, like everything sudden fear is getting you, then guess what? If you pray about it, you sincerely believe it, he'll fix it. Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't believe that he ain't going to do it, well then are you calling him a liar? Right. He already gave us the instructions. So is there really any excuses to walk around and be freaking scared? King David wasn't scared looking at Goliath. So what's our problem? It's a growth thing, man. But you gotta grind at it. Right. Something you got?
Yeah. Proverbs 24:10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
In the day of adversity. Well, guess what? We get adversity right now. Mm-hmm. So if you fainting right now in the day of adversity on things, what is Jacob trouble gonna do to you?
Man, eat you alive, man.
I mean, think about that real time feeling.
Yep.
In real time. Mm-hmm. Man, like how you gonna be able to process these madman troops coming out of the street and you heard that he shot this nigga down the street? How you gonna process that? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Without your heart falling out your ass. I'm just saying, think about that. Like I always say, brothers' heart fall out their ass when their alarm don't go off and they late to work. Mm-hmm. Heart fall out their ass. Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Cause you thinking about the what is. What if he fired me? What if they write me up? What if this? Well, I was late last week. Everybody has a boss at the end of the day, and they ain't talking about on the earth either.
Okay.
That's what we gotta keep our heart in. If you keep your heart there, man, you'll fly through your day, and whatever come your way, it's like, okay. Yeah. I ain't worried about it because I already committed myself that Yahweh Shema Shai is the control of this.
That's right.
I've already committed. When you fully commit, that's the trust.
Being convicted.
Right. Mm-hmm. Hey, King David committed. Why you think he was so bold, man? Come. He committed, and through him committing, he saw results, which built up to that story, which why during that story with Goliath, what did he do? He ran down what happened before. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm the one to the line. Well, I'm the one to bear. And this. He was just naming off stuff.
That's right.
He all said it through the power of Yahweh Shai.
God. Yeah, he can intervene at his will anytime he wants to. And that's the thing about him. And that's why we have to believe that he is. The thing about him being him and who he is, he can literally intervene at any time he wants to. The thing about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is he operates on the abnormal. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was able to stop the sun and it didn't go past. That's why he was able to split the sea. You know, he operates off the abnormal. And that abnormal spirit is within us. That's why what the elders going into is so very important. Because when we get to harping on things of the norm that everybody else thinks of and everything, that brings us lower to their vibration. But if we understand and really receive the fact that he can intervene anytime he wants, and that spirit's in us, he can use us at the same time to do it. Like small examples, being late to work, whatever the case might be. If we fainting on that stuff, it's like, damn, bro, like it's just work. You know, but he stopped the sun. He stopped the sun, bro, from going down. He can stop you from losing your job or stuff if you believe.
He controls everything.
Right.
So he can't put the spirit on your boss when you come in the office. Say,
Exactly.
You know what? I know your attendance ain't so good as far as being on time, but you know what? I understand you going through a hard time. I'm gonna give you a break.
Bro.
He can easily do that.
Easy, bro. It's a light thing.
But that takes faith to believe that these scenarios can happen. You need that every day because you ain't promised tomorrow, right? So within that one day, why not just go all out? Knowing that tomorrow ain't promised.
Right.
Precept. Yeah, that's a quick one. And this whole chapter is pretty good, but I'm going to get straight to the point to continue the lesson. This is St. Matthew 6:31. It says, therefore, take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed?
Why is he saying that? He's training you, exhorting you to do what? Just trust me, man.
Don't worry, man.
God damn.
Yo.
Look at all the stories where we didn't trust the Lord. What happened to us? Come on, man. Have we not learned our lesson yet? I mean, think about this. He's saying, look, don't stop thinking about that. Okay? Because basically you saying I ain't gonna take care of you. Right. Either you with me, either I'm with you or not. Either you believe I'm with you or not. In this room and all around the world, if we believe he with us, what the fuck are we doing ever being scared? Think about this.
Right.
We know it's easier said than done. We know that already. But that's stupid though.
If I may say real quick, Elder, that's why Yahweh Shai said, he that is not with me is against me. That's heavy. Like, if you don't have faith, man, you literally are showing that you against the Heavenly Father.
It's impossible to please the Most High without, like we was going to continue reading in Hebrews.
Man, hey, get with the program.
I know.
Yo, because even Elder, if I could land back off what you were saying, you kept saying, what if? Really, what if and faith don't mix? It's like oil and water. Right. What if and faith don't mix?
That's right.
If you got faith, what if it don't exist? Now,
Right.
That's not to say, because James, the 4th chapter, talks about saying, Lord will. We say, Lord will before we do this or do that. We're not seeking preeminence. The Lord wants us to trust and depend on him, but we got faith in his guidance. We're not like bugged out, like, well, damn, what if this? And we just trust in the Lord, man. He gonna guide our steps.
All day, that's the only thing you literally can do with your life, man. At the end of the day, if you arguing, like, and this is something little, you know, like you arguing with your wife or your job, whatever the case may be, man, the Most High is the one he's throwing them things in your life for you to see how are you gonna react if I do this?
Right.
How am I gonna react? Right. How are you gonna react if this stumbling block comes in front of you? Are you going to trust in me that I'm your light, or are you going to try to go off your own understanding and jack yourself up?
Right.
You know?
Now to what he just said, his brother just said, you said about the will, right? Check this out. 1 John chapter 5, verse 14. And this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. So it's about understanding what the will of the Lord is and riding with the river of the will of the Lord.
Right.
You said, if I could ask.
Yeah.
What, can you quote that again?
Oh, that was 1 John chapter 5, verse 14.
I got a precept.
So real quick though, he says, I'm reading it again. And this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. So if it's about his will, he heareth you. Okay? And your mind should be about asking stuff about his will.
His will, yo.
Not asking for food, he gonna feed you.
That's a given, yeah.
He already laid that down. We just read it.
Yup. if you read up, you talk about the flowers and the birds,
Right.
the fowls. They don't worry about that. They just know it's gonna be there.
Right. So if you asking for faith so that you can do His will, more faith when you believe it, He gonna give it to you. But you gotta have the confidence, like James the 1 said. Somebody can hold that, but go ahead. You got something?
When you, I want to actually finish this because
Okay. Yeah.
after you finish yours, it's gonna go to what you just saying.
Well, it's done. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is back in St. Matthew 6:32. It says, "For after all these things, just basically just things you need to sustain yourself, basic things, food, water, raiment." It says, "For after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that you have need of all these things." It says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and His righteousness," His will, like you just read, "and all these things shall be added unto you." Last verse, it says, "Take therefore no thought for tomorrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof."
Sufficient. One day sufficient is evil. Okay, the evil is sufficient enough. So worry about that light in this dark place. But you can't bear that light as the children of the light without that faith. It starts there. Because when you heard you was Israelite, what inspired you to do what? To get up and actually start moving? Faith. You had belief. And you wanted to mingle it with works. Because you understood, like, okay, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this lesson. I'm going to do that. Faith plus works. That's literally all we have to do here, man, to get that crown. To rule forever for eternity. That's the best deal ever. Okay? That's it on
That's
that.
it on that, yeah.
Go ahead, you read it.
2 Ezra 16, verse 75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is your guide.
Be you not afraid. Now that's talking about martial law time when all hell breaking loose.
Temptation, yep.
Right.
Famines.
Right. But he said, be you not afraid, neither doubt. So if you doubt now, what makes you think you just ain't going to automatically doubt when the worst is in front of you? We got to conquer the little things first. It's a seed, man. Everything is a seed that grows. And the Lord will water it. But if you don't have faith, man, He'll hold back that water on you, man. Send you back dry. Whatever you thought was growing, going to wither away. Just like the parables, man, talks about. Okay? The foundation has to be correct. Okay? And Yahweh Shai being that foundation, okay, well, all you got to do is go read about Yahweh Shai. But what was He about? What impressed Him that made Him say, yeah, that's pleasing? You know, if it's pleasing to me, it's pleasing to the Father. Faith. He talked about it a lot, man.
He said, "Thy faith have saved you."
You can't make that up. So
Luke, 17,
if Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai saying these things, what does that mean for us? You can't get jittery because you're scared of it. Well, it might not. Man, forget might not. Forget if it don't.
maybe.
What if?
Those are seeds of doubt. Don't let Satan trick you and make you think that ain't doubt. That's doubt. Either you convicted or not, man. Okay? Either you have conviction or not. Ain't no middle gray area when it comes to that. Whenever there was a gray area, which wasn't exist, but in the disciples' mind, it didn't work. And he asked why come I couldn't heal? He said, because you don't believe, man.
Yeah.
You wasn't 100% pure with your belief in this situation. And we got to be more pure in the situations in our life so we can advance in the spirit. Okay?
That was it on what I had.
You already read yours, right? Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Hebrews 11:7. By faith Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear or reverence, prepared an ark to the saving of his house.
Not seen as of yet. But he had that conviction, like, this is it. He worked. Okay? He put together, he didn't just believe it and didn't move.
You know something I was thinking, man? Like the Most High told him, like, man, I'm gonna make it rain. And Noah, you gotta think at that time it didn't rain yet, so Noah probably like, huh?
Strange.
Like, you know what? I'm just about to just do what he said. And nobody knew what rain was or water coming out the sky and all that. Nobody ain't seen that before.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So the Most High said, I'm gonna flood the earth. And when it rained, he's like, damn, I'm glad I moved with action or with faith. You know what I mean?
That's right, and you have to have a ton of it to do that, to build and prophesy for 120 plus years, and not seeing the rain or anything like that. Any feeble person or anybody with weak faith would have fainted a long time ago because they didn't see it rain yet. You know, and Satan tugs at that. You know what I'm saying? The Heavenly Father uses like time, man. Like he's outside of that realm of time, but you know, you could be expecting something quicker. When you pray for something, or when, you know what I'm saying, when you know the Lord is telling you something, you could think it'll happen ASAP or instantly. He didn't tell you when it was going to happen when he flooded the earth. He didn't tell Moses when. You know what I'm saying? But Moses kept on building, kept prophesying. All right, and he was patient. He was very patient for 120 years. And then that's when that rain came down. And that's when he's seen firsthand within himself. You know? It takes a lot of faith to do that.
You know, it's a good point you mentioned, because Satan plays on that, like, for real. Satan plays on you asking for something and you don't get it right away.
Right.
And then that doubt and that unbelief start to creep in
Right.
because you didn't get it the time you expected.
Right.
When you're not even considering that you're praying for something for him to do. You're not praying for something like, oh, do it at 9:55. It's not how it works. You see what I'm saying? He does it in his time, but he's letting you know, if you believe it, I'm going to do it. Just leave it to me. Stop worrying about stuff. The same way he going to feed you, okay? He didn't tell you if your check was going to be short and you didn't have the amount of food that day, but then something came. But he still fed you. Many ways things can go down, but it don't matter how it goes down. Because if you believe and you got faith, what does it matter how it goes down? You already had that conviction that it already is.
Yep.
And that's what faith really blooms big time when you think like that.
It's gonna be sufficient too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Something you got?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
This is First Peter
That's right.
2:20. It says, "For what glory is it, if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with Yahweh."
Man, perfect. You take it patiently, which goes back to Sirach chapter 2, when it talks about when you're brought to a lower state. You're supposed to suffer it patiently, understanding that what he's gonna earn it out. But it takes faith to know he's gonna earn it out. A lot of guys literally run from the truth because they didn't have the vision of him earning out anything in their life. It was just too much. It was too heavy. But they never thought upon the latter end, which is the kingdom of heaven. Which is what? Seek you the kingdom first, then everything shall be added unto you. You can't go out of those instructions and try to creep in another way. Right. He already laid down the rules. He already laid down the instructions, the guidance. Okay? But Satan is going to try to work on your mind to get you to go up another way.
Right.
And he's working on that daily.
Yep.
You got to know that in this war, so you can fight.
Yeah, and I just want to add a quick point too. Like, don't let past offenses or past transgressions condemn you from continuing to press forward, man. Don't let past scenarios and situations that you've done, allow Satan to creep into your mind. Like, oh well, yeah, man, you've done this. You ain't a man of the Lord. You've done this. The Lord ain't dealing with you. That's just another way of Satan. Trying to test your faith, trying to get you to stray away from the ultimate goal and ultimate mission, man. Like Paul, man, he was murdering Christians, bro. Think about what was going through his mind.
Right.
And he still had the faith to be like, you know what, man, I'm pressing for all those. That's why he said, man, he ain't looking at those things and those things out of behind, but he's pressed forward. When the only way that you can keep pressing forward is if you believe and have the faith that, you know what, at the end of the day, whatever I've done, hey man, may Yahweh Shem have mercy on me if it's of his will, but I'm just gonna keep pressing forward.
He knew the mercy was on him when the Lord revealed himself, spoke to him in Hebrew, woke him up, and gave him instructions. At that moment, either he dealing with you or not. Okay, we didn't deal a lot of shit, man. Even in I was gonna say that. Even in the truth. But especially back in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was at its highest then. So think about that. There's a lot of shit you can think about, man, that make you sad as hell. Make you walk with your head down like, man, he might not save me. A lot of things that can mess with your head. But we focus on things in front of us. And that's faith. Either you have faith that he forgave you or not. Right. If you walk like that, right? With that woe is me, look what I have done in my past, then you don't believe what he said. He said, I am faithful to forgive. We were dry bones, man. We didn't wake up to stay in dry bone. We woke up, ligaments growing, body parts getting full, body full, water, you know what I'm saying? We're growing. So roll with the river, man, of the Spirit. The Spirit is proving that we've been given mercy. We just got to be responsible with the mercy we've been given. Mm-hmm. Moving forward,
Yeah, I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 23. And it just goes into like, you can't really harp on those things in the past. Certain things that you do, you can't even utter. Can't even say. Mm-mm. This is Romans chapter 8, verse 23. It says, I'm going to start at verse 22. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit. The Lord came to Paul. He came to all those men. But Paul had a history. They all had a history. We all got a history. But the Lord still came to us. Okay? It says, and not only they, but ourselves, which also have the first fruits of the Spirit. Even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption to wit the redemption of our body. Mm. Certain things that we groan within ourselves is difficult to utter among brothers and so forth, whatever the case might be. But don't forget the things that Yahweh has shown you. Yeah, you groan on certain things, but you don't look back at those different things and think that you ain't a man of the Lord, man. Right. Especially earlier, it considers us being those first fruits. You know what I'm saying? Just as Paul, which didn't call himself the chiefest of the apostles, which the Lord had raised him up to be one of the most spiritual apostles. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But he had a past. Mm-hmm. He had a past. He had issues in the flesh that he groaned for that he couldn't utter. Certain things he was going through. We all have that same thing, but the Lord revealed himself unto us, bro.
Right.
And we can't look back at that and just discredit it, man. Because Satan will tug at your emotions and have you discredit the things that you actually might have seen. He's shown you some things, even though we all have the Spirit and he showed us the truth. But certain brothers, he might have shown you something. Right. And if you look back at that and all the things he might have shown you, it's like, man, bro, what are you doing?
Right. Right. Let me say, what was the point of Yahweh coming down here? Mm-hmm. For your mess ups.
Right.
For your past.
Right.
And the present.
That's right.
You see, you can't forget his sacrifice. Now, go ahead.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm sorry. You want?
Yeah, you got one.
2 Ezra 16 and 76. And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said Yahweh power, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves.
Right.
Verse 77, woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities.
Now, you're only bound by your sins if you're not covered by the blood.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because you're not judged by the law. So being bound by your sins is being uncovered from the blood of Yahweh Shai, because you're not doing what he said. It ain't because, you ain't perfect. We already know you ain't. But the blood, when it covers you, it makes you dead with him. That's how powerful that blood is. See, some guys, man, they try to they downplay the blood of Yahweh Shai.
It's life in the blood. Because we're dead according to the law, because we can't keep it.
Right. He is our life. He is the way. That's why they were so mad at him. He look, I'm the only way. Yep. If you don't go by what I say, bye. Yep. Curse be you. Yep. So that.
It says, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through.
A path. Now, check it out. That represents darkness, right? So wisdom is a light to your feet, which you can see your path through the valley of the shadow of death, through this darkness, for you be able to see, man. So either you see or you don't see. Mm-hmm. Either your sins are covered or it's not covered. Do you not understand? Let me say, do you not understand guys who go back into the world? They gotta pay for all these sins, man. Think about that. That's horrible. So all the sins is on their head, just piled up. So when it's time to judge, they're getting judged by their sins. That's scary, man. So you don't want to be, none of us want to be in that situation. The only way to make sure we're not is to stay in prayer, fast when you need to, and mingle all that with faith and just do the work. That's your life now. You gave up your old life. It's over. Let it be. Your life is to serve Yahweh Shem Shai, to receive eternal life and salvation. That's it. You can't mingle it with the world. You got to trim that shit off. Whatever trying to hold you back, backpack on you is heavy with weights in it. You got to take, man, you got to throw that motherfucker into the damn Trinity River.
Yeah, to the wayside.
Sit on that. Okay. Go back to
11 and 8.
Let's go back to that.
By faith, Abraham. Actually, I didn't finish verse 7. Let's start from the top again. By faith, Noah, being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith.
Read that again.
It says, and by the which he condemned the world and became heir of righteousness which is by faith.
So you talk about being joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. Ooh, man, we gonna have the breastplate, the ephod. We gonna have the crown. We gonna be glowing, man. You remember Moses? We gonna be glowing. But it's by faith. Joint heirs because of your faith. See, do not get it twisted in your mind. I'm gonna repeat it again. We can't be saved by the law.
Right, man. Real talk, bro.
Get that. That doesn't mean you have a license to sin. We understand that, right? But if you don't focus on the faith, you'll end up being totally condemned in your own mind by mess ups.
Right.
Okay? By mistakes. By righteous man falls short and get back up again. How you think he getting up? Faith. Right. That's how he's getting back up. Otherwise, he would just be like, I messed up. He ain't gonna kill me. He'd go back in the world and just be his wicked self he was before. You see? So that's very important to understand that, man. Concentrate on not having any gray areas. It's black and white here. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 8, by faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went.
Not what?
Not knowing whither he went.
He didn't even know.
Just guided by the Spirit, yeah.
Didn't even know. Think about that, man. Read that again.
By faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went.
He just trusted the Lord.
He just went.
Yeah.
So guess what? When you on your journey day in and day out, there's some things you don't know. But what you do know, if you trust in the Lord, you're good. That's what you do know. Mm-hmm. But you can't, your action can't be as if you don't know. Right. Because if it is, shame on you. That's how Yahweh Shem Shai looks at it, man. We trying to get close to Yahweh Shem Shai. And then, let me tell you something. This topic brings the most joy to my life, period, by far. You know, I like the whole volume of everything, right? But just for me, this makes me happy more than anything. Because I noticed something, a pattern. When I focus on faith so heavily, I notice how I react to things. Every day. Things happen, it's like everybody around panicking. Kid panicking. You know what I'm saying? It could be, for example, I'm in a room, all of a sudden I hear a scream, my kid screaming. I go to the kitchen, there's blood all over the floor, and my son got a big gash on his head. Just for example. In the world, or a faithless person, everybody panicking, grabbing me. Is like, bring it here. You know, get a towel. Okay, all right, come here, do it. Just calm. Mm-hmm. Because I understand the outcome is not, he controls the outcome of this.
Right. You can only control the controllables.
So I can only look at it as a test. Mm-hmm. You can only look at it as a test that you need to pass every single time. What's worse? Me not making the chair and my kids and them dying, or him having to get stitches on his head.
Right.
You have to look at things that way so that you can rule your spirit and not let Satan do shit to rule yours.
Right.
All right?
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Ooh, pilgrims.
Them sojourners like Abraham.
Passing through.
You know?
Hey, going to now when you go into a journey, man, and you single minded on that journey, you ain't playing. You getting there. Now there's some things on the way.
A pit stop.
Exactly.
You gotta go take
Exactly.
a piss.
In between, but you getting there though.
You steady moving.
There-
You
there-
steady moving, and you understand. Let me tell you something. Even these movies like Treasures, what's that movie with Nicolas Cage?
National Treasure.
Like movies like that, or like where they looking for this goal or looking for something they feel
Indiana Jones.
is of high value. They understand that when you see in the movies they lay out the map where they need to go. They'll tell you in the movie. They'll say, okay, right here, this is known to be a lot of these are shaky waters, or this is that, and they know that if this go this way, we might have to adjust and da 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 da. Well, we only got one adjustment.
Right.
Belief.
Gone.
Hey, we ain't got no other adjustments, man. We just gotta believe and move.
Right. That's right.
And let Yahweh Shema Shah do the rest. Just like him feeding us every day. You really don't control if you get your check. You know why? Your job could file for bankruptcy and tell you we ain't got your money.
Right.
That's happened before. All around, right? So that lets you know right there is, what are you doing? What are we doing when we had those moments? Those moments make me sick to my stomach. Like literally, if I noticed that I felt in that area, that whole day, man, I was like, fuck. I don't like that feeling. Yeah. And I start zoning in on my, how they react. I start really paying attention because I feel like I disappointed Yahweh Shema Shah.
Right.
Because you sitting talking about faith, you got to be about it.
That's right.
That's the thing.
God. Apostle Ramlab did a lesson some months back, almost a year ago, going into these accounts of pilgrimage and sojourning, and use the example of Abraham. And as we're going into spiritual stumbling blocks or spiritual hurdles that get in your way as we sojourn here, he pretty much mentioned when Abraham had traveled, again, he didn't know where he just moved. You had bandits that were there, wild beasts, so forth. That's why it says the conditions of the battle. Likening those things Abraham went into what we're going through right now. Yeah, we understand faith and we're trying to walk it, but man, when those situations and those scenarios are presented in front of you, you have to be about it and understand that this is the condition of the battle, man, because there's evil on all sides. This is the valley of the shadow of death that we live in right now, man. But Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah is our state. He's our dwelling place. He's with us. Yahweh Shah said, I am with you always, even to the ends of the earth. So as that spirit's within us, in the boat that in the ship, we don't got nothing to worry about. But we really have to have that mind state when that stuff happens, when you're actually tested, man. Just as Abraham was proved when that situation happened, man. When he traveled, there was things that happened. It doesn't go into the detail of the things Abraham experienced when he sojourned and went all the way through the fertile, all the way to where he dwelt at from Ur, all the way to the land of Canaan. Abraham was going through shit. It's written. Right. Through faith, he sojourned. This is over there in that region where shit went down, man.
That's right.
And he still wasn't subdued by the enemy, man.
Because he was convinced.
Exactly.
Before he went. We got to be convinced day in and day out.
That's right.
Before we start our day.
Exactly.
If it takes prayer right away, which is the best thing you can do, just open your day with a prayer. That's the best thing you can do.
Man.
It don't always go that way. But that's the best thing you can do, though. And just ride out that day with, it don't matter what happened. I know who my power is. I know who I trust. I know what I believe. That's where your power is at. That's what Baruch chapter 4 talks about being illuminated. That's what it means, man. Taking on the whole thing. Not just, I know I'm an Israelite. Esau, you going into slavery. And that's it. A lot of guys are stuck on that. And then when it's time to really deal with everyday life and reality, they fold up like a bitch. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Okay? Is it on that? Go ahead.
I have something real quick. Jeremiah 17:7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahweh, in whose hope Yahweh is.
Ooh, blessed is the man whose hope Hope what? Hoping whatever situation you're in, you're hoping that he's with me. You believe he's with you. That's your hope. You know, you're like, man, he with me. He with me. You know, and I say this a lot because I can't get over it, man. King David just called Goliath's head off before he did it. How do you do that?
He spoke that into existence.
How do you do? What type of boldness did you have to have? Think about it real time. You go downstairs, man, and this big old giant, man, he about 8 foot. He talking that cash money shit.
Yeah.
And you can't go nowhere but fight. He got you cornered. Guess what? You got to fight this dude.
Yep.
And you know, based on what he got, I'm going to have to fight this dude to the death. He says, me and him. Would you have David? David had it together, man. And he was talking cash money shit. But he backed it up.
Right.
We got to learn from that. That ain't written just for, ooh, that was cool and just move on. No. You have to spiritually apply that way to your life because there's a lot of Goliaths in your life that come in different forms and shapes. And you have to look at like, okay, this is a giant. I can't do it with my own carnal power. But if he's with me that I believe, that don't mean shit. That's where our power's at as Israelites, man.
Right.
The power is just not knowing you Israelites and that's it. Think about that. We knew we were Israelites in the Roman captivity back. That's not just knowing you Israelite. That's not where the power lies. Right. An understanding after waking up from being a dry bones, that understanding comes afterwards. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 9 in Hebrews 11. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is Yahweh. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. Therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is upon the seashore innumerable. Verse 13. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them.
Whoo! They had that vision. They died in faith. That's why we always say, look, if you have to die, it don't even matter. You still won. Because it said those who died in the faith. He said, don't even, look, man, don't feel so bad to the point where your faith lacks because he passed away. Because he going to be in the chariot first. Imagine. He going to be in the chariot first, man, waiting on you if you endure.
Yeah.
Okay? Because he endured in his journey. Because when he died, that's it. If he died in faith, hey, his works are done. He made it. You see what I'm saying? People in the world wouldn't look at it that way because they don't have faith to understand the vision of the prophecy. We know he coming, you know?
Right.
Something you got?
Sirach 4:28, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee.
Strive unto the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. He ain't gonna fight for no non-believer. He ain't gonna fight for no guy that's woe me all the damn time. Why would he fight for that? Man, it gets on my nerves, man. My sons come to me with that woe me shit. That shit's annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you I was gonna do it 5 seconds ago. You don't believe in me? Okay, I just do stuff when I want to do it. Hey, if you a father, you do it when you want to do it. With Most High the same way.
Yep.
But if he see your integrity, okay, he see you really believe, he gonna take care of you, man. Okay, you gonna have a good report. Remember, Yahweh Shai said, "Hey, you confess me before man, I confess you for my Father." You want Yahweh Shai to talk to the Most High. Look, man, he got all the faith in the world.
Yep.
Oh, do it. Okay. Like you want that conversation to be like he got it. He really trusting us 100%.
Good.
He never scared.
Yeah.
That's the conversation I want them to have about me.
God.
You know what I'm saying? I'm working on. Hey, I'm grinding on that as we speak. You know, it's a work in progress. You gotta grind at it because you know some days bring some shit that you gotta deal with, but you still gotta keep that motor running.
I'm sorry, you go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, starting at verse 11. For Yahweh is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction.
Very pitiful. He's only pitiful to those who got faith in him. He's only pitiful to those who sincerely believe in him.
That's right.
But times of trouble, we go through troubles. Righteous man falls 7 times, get back up again. Okay, that's gonna happen.
Right.
But let me tell you something. I don't plan on staying down. When I fall and mess up, I plan on facing him like a man and just confessing my faults, like he said. He said, I'm faithful to forgive. I can't harp on my mess ups, but I can harp on faith though.
Exactly.
Cause that's gonna get me through.
Hey,
That's what you said earlier. Philippians 3, pressing forward, not worrying about the things that are
Right.
behind you.
The Lord said himself, he says, even I am he who blotted out thy sins. He said, I'm the one that do that. So would you not have fear or faith in that power that can do that?
Hey, you should fear not to believe it.
Right.
Because that could be your ass.
He can't. He mess around and not blot your sins.
Right, he mess around and put demons on you back in the world doing the same old nigga shit you was doing. Worse. Yeah. 70 times over 70 times worse, man. Nah, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. Go ahead.
I did have a question.
It's more on that though?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You go ahead, fix it. Then you
Yeah,
tell me.
yeah.
Go
okay, come. This is verse 12. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands and the sinner that goeth 2 ways.
Oh, 2 ways. Double-minded. Unstable.
Yeah.
Wavery.
Yup.
Back and forth. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Today. Not today. Man, that's wishy-washy, man. Okay? Could you imagine you having a woman that one day she love you, next day she don't. One day she love you, next day she don't. She trusts you, then she don't. Like, damn. Man, that's living in a house with a lion. You can't live like that.
That's right.
Every day is unpredictable on your emotions and how you feel towards me. That's why we got to be consistent, enduring with consistency.
Can you repeat that one more time?
The what?
What you just said about the living in the
Enduring with
house.
consistency.
Oh, in the house?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Living in a house with like a dragon, man. Because what happens when the scripture say like a scorpion? You talk, man, if you trying to control a scorpion, it's back and forth. So you want the Lord to control you? Like, he don't, no, man. He wants to look down from the heavens and say, okay, that's my son. You claim to be the son of the power here, man. Like, that's not small. If we claiming to be one of the sons, we have to walk like it. And walking like it is walking by faith and not by sight.
Right.
And not let things, you're going to be irritated, but I'm saying letting things make your faith get zapped out because of an event, because of issues, because of tribulations, adversity. Okay, it tells in Romans 8, okay, it's about trust and faith, right? Well, ain't nothing going to come in between. Nothing should come between you and your Habashim Shai. And that means nothing, not even lions in a lion's den.
Right.
Think about that. You ain't had that issue yet. You look, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Hey, it's possible. Hey, I'm just saying, you ain't had that issue.
Hey, if the scriptures say the beast shall be in league with thee in that day, you're going to be presented in situations where you're going to be surrounded by those beasts. Maybe not every last one, but it's going to happen. So like it.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. This is verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not.
Ooh.
Therefore shall he not be defended.
Oh, so those angels around you, when you fear, Psalm 34 and 7, when you fearing, you walking every day they're around you to deliver you from troubles.
That's right.
Either they're around you or they not, man. That's no gray area. Either you believe it or they not. If you don't believe it, that's a problem. That's a character problem dealing with your Habashim Shai that needs to be fixed, whether through prayer, by fasting, whatever it is. But the scriptures tells us to examine ourselves, right?
Right.
What is the most thing you should be examining? Your faith. That's the main thing. Because we know that's above all. That shield. Is your shield up or not? Are you holding the shield or you leaving the house today with no shield? Shield rusted because you ain't picked it up in a long time. You just quoting scriptures. I'm here, guys. It's Friday. Got my garment on. You see these fringes? Okay, guess what? That gets old. There's levels to this, man. It's levels to this, and the scriptures teach us. Okay? Sit on that, what you was reading?
Just one more.
Time, go ahead.
This is verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you?
Go ahead.
Verse 15. Verse 15. They that fear Yahweh will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways.
Disobeying his word is not believing in what he said. Not trusting in what he already laid down for you. That's disobedient. So think about it. It's disobedient to lack faith.
Doubt.
That's disobedient.
Yeah.
Why you think they got ate up in the wilderness? They were disobedient. That's really blasphemy. Once you see the history and you know who he is, that's blasphemy, man.
What does it say? Disobedience is the sin of witchcraft?
Yeah.
Rebellion. Yep.
Or rebellion? I mean, well,
Same
yeah,
thing. Same thing. All in one bowl. That's the same thing. So think about it, man.
Evil heart of disbelief.
Right. So either you a believer, you got faith, or you a witch. Which one you want to be? Think about that.
Or suffers not a witch to live.
That's right. All these scriptures blend. They go together, man. Precept upon precept, here a little, there a little.
Can I get a
Yeah,
precept?
go ahead.
God, it says, verse 17, by faith Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promises offered up his only begotten son, of whom it was said, that in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
Quick question for one of the younger brothers. How many kids did Abraham have?
Was it 8?
It was 8, right? They called Isaac his only begotten son. Which shows forth, you know what I'm saying? And only begotten doesn't necessarily mean he only have one. But that's who that inheritance went to. Like Yahweh Shai is the only begotten son of Yahweh. But he considers himself the firstborn of many brethren. You know what I'm saying? Because the firstborn is the one that usually receives the inheritance. As Isaac received the promise, Yahweh shall receive the promise of Yahweh. You know, just as a little footnote, I want to put that out there.
Which through the spirit he is.
Exactly. Exactly.
God.
God.
Go ahead.
It says, of whom it is said, that in Isaac shall thy seed be called, accounting that the Most High was able to raise him up, even from the dead.
Well, hey, so when you tell the story of Abraham sacrificing Isaac, okay, you have to remember, and it takes to, that's why I said, bless he that readeth, because you will remember those little details. The detail of this is not just that he had faith to sacrifice him, right? But that he sacrificed him in the mind state that, he just raised it back up.
Right.
Like that was his mind state. He said, you know what? If I sacrifice him, I know he's getting back to me. Proving he knew that the Lord could resurrect. Even then. That's how they truly believed on the power, man. Like, look, he can do anything. So I believe that if I do sacrifice him, he will give Isaac right back to me. Because he understood it was a test. Okay, go ahead.
By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come.
Hold on. By faith, what?
Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come.
So when Isaac was on his deathbed, it said by faith he blessed him. Now what does that mean by faith he blessed him? Okay? You got to understand, a lot of time when you read, man, you got to think about that our people were known of just speaking things into existence through the connection with the power. Throughout all the scriptures. They would say things that would just happen. Okay? And then a lot of times you would try to channel in your mind like, oh, okay, the Lord told them. Go back and read, you'll see they were just saying stuff and the Lord honored it. You see verses, he just told them, say this, do this, do this, do this. Certain instances he did direct them, right? Like he told Moses, go and tell Pharaoh this. You see what I'm saying? But that's not in every single case. And that detail is important. Why is it important? It magnifies faith. That's why it's important. Go ahead.
By faith, Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both the sons of Joseph and worshiped leaning upon the top of his staff.
Meaning he went by the Spirit. Okay, he had a conviction. He said, you know what? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's going to be. And it happened. But it was by faith. That's why it's bringing it up in this chapter, man. It's running it down. That's why I love this chapter, man. It just runs down stories that you can go read.
Can you read that again? And I want to bring out a precept too.
By faith, Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both the sons of Joseph and worshipped, leaning upon the top of his staff.
Mm-hmm. And I want to read this and going back to Genesis, the last chapter, Genesis 50 and 24. It says, "And Joseph said unto his brethren, I die, and the Most High will surely visit you and bring you out of this land unto the land which he sware to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And Joseph took of an oath to the children of Israel, saying, the Most High will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones from hence. So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt. So that's just backing up that.
Yeah. Now,
You know?
wait, hold on. I say this though. Let me say this. When he blessed them, okay, think about this. This shows you the integrity of our people. Why didn't he just reverse it and say, you know what? I gave it to the wrong person.
Right.
Esau, now you got it because you're Esau. That was really about their word.
Mm-hmm.
That was detailed what came out their mouth.
Right.
They wasn't playing. If they spoken in the air, okay,
It happened.
they wouldn't take it back on serious standards like that.
That's right.
We had a standard that we're growing to understand now.
That's right. That's right.
And that standard is fully going to be established when Yahweh Shah come.
Mm-hmm.
Of that word, because we're going to be perfect then. So obviously, whatever, we don't need to take it back because we're going, we're going to know everything what it is. Okay, just like that, the heavenly body. They're perfect. We're going to be perfect too. Lord willing is us.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes to show that at the end of the day, he didn't take it back. The spirit was on him not to take it back anyway.
It was according to prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because it's according to prophecy. Now we do know that when you read, he was confused, but like I said, why didn't he just take it back and give it to Esau if it was meant for Esau?
Mm-hmm.
It's all through the spirit.
all through the spirit.
Right? It's all through the spirit. You gotta
Understood
remember
the spirit.
You gotta remember that. Now you still got.
Jacob was the firstborn in the heaven.
Salakia.
But all you can say is at the end of the day, he didn't reverse it.
He didn't reverse it.
So you know it was meant for Jacob.
Right.
Right. That's the point of that.
That's it.
Yeah.
It sounded like Jacob, but he smelled him. It smelled like Esau, though. But
Yeah.
he went through and busted anything.
Right.
Sirach 24, I started at verse 8. So the creator of all things gave
Real
me...
quick, hey, what's the name for the younger brothers?
Disciples.
Disciples. Let's just call them disciples. For the disciples. Why did Esau get the blessing? Like why what was the tradition?
The elder son.
Firstborn, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So
Right.
Jacob technically was the firstborn, but he was the firstborn in the heavens.
Con.
From the foundation of the earth. So that's why the blessing really went to him at the end of the day, because he was chosen to get that blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Before there was they came in the flesh. As it says in Romans, right?
Yeah.
The children being not
yet
yet
born.
born.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
God.
So that's really why I went to Jacob at the end.
Right.
Con.
Right. Showing that he controls all things.
Mm-hmm.
It was set up in the spirit. Yep.
Sirach 24 and 8, just to kind of, land back with the precept with everything. So the creator of all things gave me a commandment, speaking of wisdom, which we know that's talking about Yahweh Shai. And he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thine inheritance in Israel. This happened in the spirit already.
Right.
And also too, it goes to show that he is the Most High. He can do what he want to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be technical, right? Some people try to be overly technical, like the wicked Pharisees. He can sway it the way he want to sway it because he is in control of all this, man.
Right.
Okay? So it's like when you back in the day, if you made a deal now, these people don't honor deals.
Right.
Right? Back in the day, you made a deal. You better be about your deal that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Esau made a deal.
Right.
You see how he got about him? He made a deal. He sold it, and that's it. You the dummy. He put the spirit in him to sell it. So at the end of the day, even though technically it goes to the first, it's just to show you how the Most High intervenes.
Just through the spirit.
And does what he wants to do, man. It's heavy. It's heavy.
Right.
Go ahead, Al.
Hey, where you reading from?
That precept,
Mm-hmm.
that was Sirach 24 verse 8.
24 and 8. Okay,
Hebrews 11.
Yeah, let's go back to
and 22. It says, by faith Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departing of the children of Israel, and gave commandment concerning his bones. Verse 23. By faith Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child.
Hold on. By faith, he was hid 3 months. That conviction, man. Okay? They knew the Lord was with them. They knew it through that faith. Now, I asked you the whole Exodus chapter 2, because that goes into it.
Okay.
Can I get that word proper real quick?
I was just
Just
looking at that.
That's spirit. I was thinking.
Proper, like that word proper in the Greek goes back to Strong's G791, which is asteos, which that word there means, it says elegant of body, comely, fair. It says of Moses. So they recognize that this child had the spirit of Yahweh
Right.
already. So it was like, even though they were slaying all the firstborn sons,
They knew it.
Moses' mom and his father and mother was like, nah, this child is special. We gotta keep him hid.
Right.
You know?
Right. This is basically this is him, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? To help get us out of this bondage.
Fulfilling prophecy.
Fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead and read Exodus, I think chapter 2.
All right. This Exodus chapter 2, verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi, and took to wife a daughter of Levi, and the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, all right, she hid him 3 months. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes.
Now it already said that she hid him through faith, right? Which goes along with what she did next. We're rereading. She put him in the water with faith. Think about that in real time. That's a decision she had to make based off faith. Cause she could have dwindled and said, you know what? I ain't putting that water. He gonna die. I'm gonna just take my chances and keep it with me.
Gone.
She said, no, you know what? I'm gonna put him in the water so he can drift down. Come on, man. That's extreme. That's extreme circumstances, man. Because if you did that right now, man, people call you crazy. Like, really? But you see what I'm saying? Like, literally, if you in that situation, man, and you did that, and you had faith, the Lord can make that baby man end up in a situation where it's just straight.
Gone.
Even though it looked at the sight of it looked at horrible.
Right.
Which is why we walk by faith and not by sight. And this is an example. Okay.
Find it, just a quick little point. I find it interesting. It calls it an ark of bulrushes. Mm-hmm. You know, like you had, the Noah's Ark, which we know is a little basket, or that Moses was in.
Right.
But an ark is more so like a bridge, as Apostle Kabar states, like it's that bridge. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that ark was that protection. You know what I'm saying, from Moses. With Moses, it's like the ark was a protection with Noah and all them, and Yahushua is our protection. We travel, sojourn as we're going into. You know what I'm saying? Because as Moses was in that ark of bulrushes, that was sojourning right there. Right. It wasn't knowing where he was gonna go. His mother didn't know that he was gonna end up being where he was gonna dwell at. She just did it. Just thought it was interesting.
She did it because she believed in the power.
Right.
She had a pure belief. See, when you do things like that, it's 100%. It's 100. You know, I say 100. It's 100.
Right.
It's no holes in that in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Gone.
I think it's a little more, but go ahead.
Okay. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and dabbed it with slime and with pitch.
Now, it's a point I want to make that's very crucial. It said when she could no longer hide him. Now, a couple things she could have did. She could have said there, oh, it's over. Mm-hmm. I can't hide no more. I guess he's gonna get put to death. She could have easily did that, man. That's like hiding if the cops can bust on your door and you can't hide no more. You're like, it's over. Yeah. No, she went to the next level of faith. She's showing you what the Lord can test you like that.
Right.
It could go from level to another level in one event.
Yeah.
in one situation.
Right.
So remember that. Remember that in your walk.
Con.
It's not over until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And we need that way of thinking, especially in Jacob's trouble, man.
Con.
Police come to your house, put you in the tanker, and you're like, oh shit, I'm in here.
Mm-hmm.
Take you to the camp. Oh, I'm in the camp now. It ain't over until it's over. Oh, the guillotine drop it down on a 5-second count. It ain't over until it's over.
That guillotine snap in half.
And even if it did get your head, John head got beheaded.
Died in the face.
John gonna have a big crown with all kinds of stones on it, man. Powerful. Okay? 100% wisdom. Perfect. So that's just a point that's important to think about.
Con.
Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 3. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and dabbed it with slime and with pitch and put the child therein. And she laid it in the flags by the river brink.
Hey, faith is dead without works.
Right.
Go ahead.
And his sister stood afar off to wit would be to done. I'm sorry, I'm going to read that again, verse 4. And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river. So he just happened to have, the Heavenly Father just happened to have the daughter of Pharaoh just down there washing.
That was the plan.
It's crazy.
Because, look, hey, it was cold about it. That was the plan so that he can get big up, right? In the Pharaoh organization, so to speak.
Right.
Just to get Israel out of there, man. Him, Aaron, through the spirit of your high bashing out. Bro, that's cold, man.
Right.
I mean that's pretty extreme. I mean, a lot of things could have happened for it not to go that way, which shows you what? He's in control
Lord's in control.
of the outcome. Right. He chooses if Moses fall, the box got a hole in it, it's sink. He controls that, man.
Alligators, all that stuff.
Right. The same way he controls if you lose your job, if you get another one, if your car breaks down, if you get fixed. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to have to learn and put on that new man for real. That's when you're going to feel a lot better through your days.
Right.
Through your irritations and bullshit you go through. You know. Go ahead.
And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee?" And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." And that maid went and called the child's mother.
Called the child's mother. Because think about it, her breasts are ready right now to feed.
Right.
You have a baby, milk coming in. Go ahead.
And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, "Take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages." And the woman took the child and nursed it.
So they saw the result of faith. They saw the result. Because remember, it said they were looking at to see what was going to happen.
Right.
To see if they faith was going to be, they were like, okay, he's good. They watching. Man, the Lord is, Yahweh Shema Shah is cold, man.
Come.
We lucky to be Israelites. We very fortunate.
Straight up.
Oh my goodness, man.
Straight
Especially don't want to be Edom. Golly. But we lucky, man. To have the opportunity to things like that to play out. Just because we believe it.
Come.
It's literally that. It's deep, but it's literally that simple. It's black and white. Go ahead. Something you want to say, brother?
Yeah, I was, when brothers been reading, I've been, brothers
Kind.
I was going, the words and stuff.
Kind.
And I end up on this thing called pasty.com, and it says whatever happened to the disciples, and it explains how each of it's a detailed description on how they all died, and at the end of it, it says none of them recanted, even in the face of death, they still proclaimed Yahweh Shah the Messiah.
Ooh. And they're gonna get a crown because of that. Okay, even the women that died in faith.
Yeah.
Okay, they're gonna be in good position because of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have it all, man. We all gonna have it all.
Come.
But it's based off faith.
Yeah.
Oh man, look, listen. I say this and I said it earlier, I'm gonna say it again, man. when you focus on these stories, especially in this chapter, and you go back to these stories, man, there's a joy that's is you can explain it, but it's bigger than explaining. You have to just feel that inner peace. It has to be there. And you know it when you feel it. It's an inner peace. It's like, man, you just feel so happy. And when hell break loose around you, it don't even freaking matter. How you think it said in Jacob's trouble that you shall rejoice, but they should be in vexation of heart. Oh, but then you also shall be scarcely saved. All at the same time. Well, how is that? Faith, man. Faith. It's going to be horrible, but us exercising what we're going through right now and really getting on the level, you're going to feel the result. You're going to be more happier. You know, we're still in the house of mourning, but that relationship, that personal relationship is going to increase and you're going to feel it. He's going to show you. He's going to show you that, yeah, good. You know, I think last week, not last week, Slacker. I think it was a month ago, man. No, not a month ago. It was when I went through that trust lesson I did over here. That night before, man, when I was in the spirit of thinking like this, and I went outside, I was like, you know what, man? Lord, I believe you with me. All of a sudden, angel. Confirmation. You don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. You better believe whether he show you something or not.
Right.
But the point I'm telling you, he was giving me cherries on top, like, yeah, come on. Mm-hmm. That's how I want you to be. Went to go pray. Man, I nearly cried, man.
Yeah.
Because it was like I was going so crazy about trust and I was zoning in so hard on it to the point where like I didn't care about nothing. Nothing else mattered to me. But he was showing me like that's good. You see, so he's around you, brothers. He's Yahweh Shema Shah, the angels are around you, man. Let's show them how much trust and faith we got moving forward. That's very important. Mm-hmm. Go back to where you was at. No. You know what? Stop there. Go ahead.
This is Hebrews 11:24. It says, by faith Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter.
By faith. Meaning he believed that the Lord was going to give him a blessed outcome. Think about that, man. That's a scary situation. But he said, man, look, man, I'm going to ride with the Lord, even though everything that is here is going to be against me because of this.
Imagine Shaquille O'Neal giving up all that close to billions of dollars he got just
right.
to say, I'm going to go out with them.
Right.
That's a good point.
Right.
That's a good point.
That's heavy.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Well, he close to a billionaire. He
right.
not close to a billionaire, but he living good.
Right. Con. Man, that's a good point.
$14 million a month.
Right.
And all kind of businesses. Yeah.
He just gave that up to come. That's what Moses gave up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Straight
right.
up.
Hey, man, excellent point, man. Excellent point. He was in a high position.
Man, humility, man.
So
higher than Shaquille.
Right. Con. Absolutely. Man, that's heavy.
And Moses, I mean, that's a story to teach Jake.
Right, man.
Not to sell out.
Right.
Right. Because he could have got weak and looked at his possessions or his status. Because remember, Yahweh Shah, I forgot, he said the guy, when he told him, he asked the Lord, what can I do? I've done this. He said, go sell everything you have. He walked away weeping. Sorrowful, sad. Yeah. He was like, oh, I got to give him all this? Oh, hell no. That's a good point. Bye. That's a good point.
But Yahweh Shah said,
Right, man.
All that gold.
Right there with Pharaoh.
Yeah. Up there. Yeah. Man, that's crazy, man, when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. But Yahweh Shah said, even with the possessions that you get in this world, you know, the moth and rust going to destroy and corrupt that. Mm-hmm. Seek ye out things that moth and rust can't corrupt.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's something that Judas Iscariot failed to do.
Right.
He ended up committing suicide.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me say this real quick. Moses went from putting the river to next to Pharaoh. Hey, that's a power of the Lord right there. I have to point that out.
Right. Same
God.
to Joseph too.
Yep.
Right. Joseph. Yep. Man, that's heavy.
The Lord got an increase.
Because of Jake.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, Egypt.
Modern day.
Yep.
Even in Babylon.
Daniel.
I was about to say that Daniel said,
Meshach,
Abednego. Yeah. They had Babylon flourishing, but even when Daniel got put into the lion's den, he was at a low position, and then even when Nebuchadnezzar came back out and looked and seen that he was good, he was like, damn, lions didn't even eat him. Let me go ahead and
It
put
was
him on.
Cyrus. It was Cyrus.
So not Nebuchadnezzar. Sorry, that the water for correcting me. Even though he came back and looked at him like, damn, he good. He's still alive. He came out of it and put him in a higher position. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hey, shows you the payoff
Yeah.
of believing in Yahweh Shema Shai and trusting in them with all your heart. Not 25%, because that's gray area shit.
yeah, you got it.
I'm talking about being 100, making your mind up completely. Like you made your mind to God in the highways and byways, make your mind up for day in and day out to just trusting Him no matter what.
Straight up.
Period. I had a quick one real
Okay.
fast. Psalm 55 and 22. Cast thy burden upon Yahweh, and he shall sustain thee.
Now, when you go to that burden, it's talking about the lots He give you. Okay, basically the card you have been dealt.
Right.
Every moment, every event, issues, daily, whatever. Okay, you're supposed to cast that upon Him. Now that takes belief, because all burdens ain't the same.
Right.
But it is the same. How we know it's the same? Because if you cast it on Him, it's the same. Either He gonna take care of you or not, man. That's how you got to look at it. Go ahead.
Time. He shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Where moved means to be shaken or to waver.
And if you're shaking and wavering, that means you're double-minded. Which way you going? You can't go east and west at the same time in your mind. Okay, east is belief, west is death. Which way you gonna go?
Man. Yeah, that's just real talk too, man.
Jumping back to Hebrews 11, verse 26, it says, actually verse 25, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of Yahweh than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Now keep in mind, he looking at all this gold. He looking at all the goodly things, you know, from generations of old to now that's always looked at as woo, you know, precious stones, power, had servants. I mean, come on, man.
And he led military wars.
Right.
Ooh.
Do the research. So Moses was like the man.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Right.
heavy.
He was a war, like it was a war general.
Which makes sense.
That's in Josephus, right?
Yep.
Mentions it, Con.
Hey, but you know it's funny you said that. It made me think about him killing that Egyptian.
Yeah.
He just
He was an assassin.
yeah,
He killed a son. He killed a mighty man.
yeah, he wasn't playing, man.
A
Think about when we
soldier.
had
Abraham too. He was
Yeah. Yep.
he won a war before that delivered Lot or something like that.
before he ran into Melchizedek.
The War of Kings.
Yeah.
All through the power of Yahweh Shema Shai.
Just think about when he was walking through and they was journeying through the wilderness. You think in that 40-year period they didn't run into nobody?
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like hey.
Lord teaches my hands to war.
Hey, who knows?
David, bro.
Hey, who knows? In the kingdom of heaven, man, we might. I'm sure we'll be able to see all the in betweens.
We go see it though.
See, like a movie. Like basically, our movies is just seeing King David to see or whatever.
Genesis to Revelation.
Right. That's heavy, man.
We're gonna have everything in us.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's heavy.
Everything we didn't that wasn't put in here. We're gonna get it.
Right,
Right.
because miracles that we talk about that's famous in this world in the scriptures, it says that he did so many miracles that the world can even hold it.
Right.
So we gonna see those too,
At the end of John, yeah.
man. Hey, we gotta make it, man. Real.
Verse 26, it says, esteeming the reproach of Yahweh, esteeming the reproach of Mashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. Man, that's heavy.
Right.
For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward.
Go ahead.
When it says esteeming the reproach of a Mashiach, does that mean like he can consider did he know about Yahweh Shai back then that he was to come? Like, what does that mean when it says esteeming the reproach of a Mashiach?
Read it again.
Esteeming Hebrews 11 verse 26, it says, esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt.
Read the last verse and read into it.
Okay. Verse 25, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt.
Ooh,
That
man.
last verse has a colon after it, meaning the next part is pertaining to what's before.
He understood.
When you, I'm sorry, my bad. You got it.
Now, what I was saying is that when you read that, the last verse he read, he understood that the weight of the eternal versus the carnal.
Right.
Because the carnal was in Egypt, what he had, which he understood that was temporary. Read it again, you see what I'm saying?
Basically, you know, you have a high self-esteem.
Right.
It makes you think real highly of yourself. You know, versus the guy that has low self-esteem, he's all low and he act, so that's pretty much the same thing. Like someone has high self-esteem, you hold yourself in high regard.
Okay.
So that reproach and that shame that Yahushua went through, he held that in high regard. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
Esteeming the reproach of him because, like also too, it made me think of is like even Enoch. Enoch prophesied of a Messiah to come.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was always known that a Messiah was going to come into the scene, which we already know.
Right.
So, Moses being on the level that he was, he could have knew. You know what I'm saying?
Would it be like
Like the reproach, like the sacrifice what the Lord went through.
Right.
He held that in high regard versus balling out here. He's like, nah, man.
Right. The real riches. Right.
His sacrifice.
Right.
It's interesting.
He held that in high regard versus just balling out for a season.
Right. A temporary. Now right here on Google, it's esteem, respect, and admiration.
What?
Okay. So read that one more time after we establish that.
It says, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. Esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward.
Hey,
Right.
Think about it. Moses prophesied of Yahweh Shai.
in, Deuteronomy
Right.
18?
So he understood.
He knew.
God,
He had the vision.
And he knew that was going to be the one that was going to be the head priest.
Man.
Because in Genesis it talks about that through Judah is going to be a priest.
So
That's
he-
going to be the lawgiver. Is going to come through him.
So he had to have known for a while, even before the bush and everything like that.
I don't know.
Remember he went on that mountain.
He went on that mountain. Yahweh, the Most High, showed him everything.
Everything.
Right.
So
Man,
yeah, I
man,
think
40
he showed
days?
him everything. Yeah.
40 days,
bro.
Yeah.
Man, you can see
Bro.
He showed him
He
everything.
showed him the end of this kingdom fall.
He showed him the tabernacle in the heavens. Yeah.
Woo.
All the in-betweens we was inquiring about
So
seeing
he
in the
had to
kingdom.
see
He seen it.
Melchizedek.
Right. Right. He wrote
If
about
he showed
right.
him the he wrote him.
Man, bro, Moses' face was shining,
Bro, he came down. What he showed him.
bro. Oh
he
man,
He knew the way.
That's right.
man, bro.
He gave us the story in a very abridged, tedious manner, to where we just have enough to
Right.
have faith. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Put
right,
the
that's
story
right.
together.
Man, that's heavy, man.
May I get a precept?
Yeah, kind of go ahead.
Psalms 84:10. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my power than to dwell in the tents of wickedness.
Right. Understanding the end of the matter. Moses understood the end of the matter, and other prophets, other ancient men, and certain women that believed. They understood. That's why you see certain actions written about. They were written about because the Lord found them worthy to be written about.
And that's David, and he got his wish. He's the doorkeeper.
Right.
Sure did. Sure did. He sure did.
Heavy, man.
He got the keys.
He got them keys. He got them keys, man.
The keys to the Jeep. Drone. Go ahead, Tazma.
Con. I was looking for that more precept in the Apocrypha when it talks about how the Most High pretty much showed Moses like the beginnings and in the end times. I'll find
That's
it later.
14. Second Edges 14.
That's what it is.
I think it's the beginning of it.
That would kind of go into what kind of go into that too, real quick. I'll just wrap it real fast.
Sorry, I have 1. Second Edges 14 and 1.
I got it. Second Ezra 14:1. And it came to pass upon the third day I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me, and said, Esdras. And I said, Here am I, Lord. And I stood up upon my feet. Verse 3, Then he said unto me, In the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses, and talk with him when my people served in Egypt. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt. Verse 4, and brought him up to the Mount of Sinai, where I held him by me a long season, and told him many wondrous things, and showed him the secrets of the times and the end, and commanded him, saying, These words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide.
Wow, he showed him everything.
Dagger. That's a dagger.
Showed him everything. It says things that I declare unto you, and show these things and hide these things. So, hey, man, Moses didn't even write down certain things.
Yeah, you know he had to have another scribe with him or something probably too.
You think so?
Probably so. I mean, he probably did, you know.
I remember Joshua was trying to go up there with him.
No, I'm not saying up there on the mountain.
Oh.
He told some of them certain things.
Oh, it's certain things.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, once he came down, he probably shared a few of the secrets with some of the, maybe
Come.
Aaron.
Probably.
Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's the high priest. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it on the highway.
Right. Con.
Right. Yeah.
Aaron knew too, part one.
Yeah. Yeah. Certain things you gotta hold it back, Jack.
There's a reason why his beard was so long.
Hey, Aaron Lightbringer. No, I'm just playing.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Verse 27 in Hebrews 11. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king.
Not fearing. He said, I've given you a spirit of a sound mind, not the spirit of fear. Mm-hmm. And we see that acted out through these men
Con.
that we supposed to have.
Right. It says through faith he forsook Egypt, even turning around and being baptized with this truth, turning it back toward against America. It takes faith to do what we're doing right now, because as Moses forsook Egypt, we're forsaking Egypt as well right now.
Good point. Absolutely.
You know, then that
All
takes
of the men of
faith.
the Lord's story is tied to our walk in
Right.
somehow.
Kind of straight up.
David, we need that mercy. We went off, you know, everything.
Man, bro.
Because they all had to believe
Right.
in their walk. And it's the same instruction. We got to believe in our walk. They all overcame. Yahweh Shai said, look, I overcame, you can overcome.
Right.
It's all about overcoming what's in between that's trying to make us think that he's not with us.
Right.
Or don't be obedient because this is better. Like the whole walk, the whole scripture's going to that. All right, go ahead.
It says, by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Through faith.
Oh no. Ooh. No. Hold up now. Don't just skip over that one. Read that again. The last part.
It says, by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible.
Can somebody get that in the blue letter, please? The invisible.
Hey, that shows you the most.
Wait. He said, read the whole.
That made me think about Exodus 33, bro.
That's crazy. I've been wanting to do a sit down on Hebrews 11, but it never happened. It ain't happened. I got so many lessons I need to do.
So many examples.
It's just so much that happens in the spirit that you don't get to what you thought you was gonna get to.
Right, you gotta just do what you can.
It's all through the
Get
spirit.
it broken down.
Did you want that word, right? Invisible?
Yeah, read it.
Oh, okay.
Keep reading.
That shit crazy, bro. I've been pulling mine up, my shit is spinning and shit.
Yeah, say like, nah.
The word for invisible, aoratos, Strong's G 517, it says unseen or that which cannot be seen. Example, invisible.
But it's evidence, right?
Right.
Did we read earlier?
Right.
The things are not, but the evidence of things that, come on, man.
Yeah.
So the invisible, he had faith in the invisible to take care of whatever was going to happen, man. And think about it in real time, man. A person in reality, how many things they could conjure up in their brain of what could happen bad. Pharaoh could kill me, this, that. Man, they could torture me.
You know, people's talking shit about him.
Man.
Friends he made.
Turning against, oh my goodness, man. So,
I just had a precept to back up what we just went
okay,
into.
real quick. Hold on. Hold that real quick. I want you to read that last part, that scripture again. That one scripture that we're going to
Verse 27, by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible.
His eye was on trusting Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. His eye was on having a sound mind. He made a decision. Sound mind or fear. It's easy to fear that shit. That's easy. But it takes a real man of the Lord to just believe him. You know, that's something I'm telling you, we gotta focus on this. I'm telling you, because at any moment, all hell could break loose. Then what?
Man,
That bomb gotta be in you.
no internet, no WhatsApp, nothing. You don't know what to do. You be by yourself.
So your journey is based off the outcome of faith in him.
This is Romans 1:20. It says, "For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his power, or Salaki, even his eternal power in Godhead, so that they are without excuse." Because we was going into that word invisible. So the Lord, he does show us certain things to know, like, for example, we measure the time. When we see certain signs, we know that the Lord's coming is close, but we don't know the exact time.
Right.
So we still are guided by faith. It's still, that exact time is still invisible to us, but we're able to walk accordingly based on certain things that he does show us, you know?
Con. That's right. And that's why you should feel like shit when you don't remember. Like David ran down the list on Goliath, he remembered. And he brought it up. Judas Maccabees, he remembered the stories he read to help him in. Hey, Judas Maccabees remembered, right? And he comforted the man that was around him that had that fear in their eyes. You know when a man got fear in his eyes, it's like in the military. They know the guys who get wavery when the shit get hot. You got the Taliban setting the rolls up. They know who getting scared or not, man. Who the badass, so to speak. So Judas Maccabees, he went back to comfort them of how to handle that situation by seeing an army that was way more than them.
Remember that? Yeah. 2 Maccabees 15.
So what we got to do? We got to look back.
That's what he did. He went into the old stories. And
Yeah, man, somebody find that.
I got it.
Please, yeah. Man, watch.
Somebody got a copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, find that one. That story is ridiculous. Give me a hard copy.
I got you. That's a good story because he saw a vision of Jeremiah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy.
Are you still Maccabees? Okay. 2 Maccabees chapter 15. Yeah, I must have just got this about
His pages sticking together.
Are you reading that?
No, taking the cancer because the Bible too fresh.
You made me read this as a sign.
2 Maccabees 15. All right. I'll start at 6. It says, "So Nicanor, in exceeding pride and haughtiness, determined to set up a public monument of his victory over Judas and them that were with him. But Maccabeus had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which, and see, Christianity won't give you this. They don't give you this.
These are comforting stories.
It's comforting. It's comforting.
Okay. It says against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid.
Wait. Read that again.
Expect.
And now to expect the victory and aid,
Wow.
which should come unto them from the Almighty.
Expect?
Yep. Watch this. And so comforting them out of the law and the prophets, and withal putting them in mind of the battles that they won afore, he made them more cheerful. And when he had stirred up their minds, he gave them their charge, showing them therewithal the falsehood of the heathen and the breach of the oaths. He's like, these niggas going off. The Lord ain't gonna allow these
Ain't
niggas
gonna allow
to beat
them.
us, man.
Hell no.
Thus he armed them, every one of them, not so much with defense of shields and spears.
Golly, man.
He ain't arming with, but here, take this sword,
Right,
take this sword.
right.
He armed them with the word, man, with faith.
That's
Wow. Ephesians the 6th chapter.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna do a lesson on it too. So y'all know y'all gonna have to go on this, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one. It says he armed every one of them not so much with the defense of shields and spears as with All right, it says, as with comfortable and good words, and besides that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them. So I wonder if he made that up just to strengthen their faith.
If he made,
because look, it said, and he told them a dream.
Oh, someone made the dream of
as if it had been so indeed.
Okay.
It said so worthy to be believed.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So one made a dream of.
Okay, okay.
I had a dream.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see. Yeah, I see.
Like he kind of just was like, shit, man, I need to get them to believe.
Got you.
Because he was seeing them like wavering in minds. Kind of, probably. Yeah.
It says,
Or maybe it was with Jeremiah when Jeremiah came to him.
Yeah, it says he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them. Want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. And this was a vision that Onias, who had been the high priest, had a virtuous and good man, reverent in conversation, gentle in condition, well spoken, and exercised from a child in all points of virtue, holding up his hands, prayed for the whole body of the Jews.
Now, the part I think I'm thinking about was when Judas Maccabees went back to the story of us going to the split sea. He went back.
Yep.
That was during the
Is
time
it down there?
You read that in First
when
Maccabees
they was about to
Oh, you talking about
the war when he saw?
You talking about the Hanukkah?
Yeah.
You talking about?
Yeah.
Man, that go right into it though. That's the spirit,
Bro, that was bad, man.
That was on point. Yeah, I wouldn't even think of it. Man,
That was the spirit, man.
that was the spirit. Yeah.
I got to
Verse
quit.
25,
I'm sorry.
I'll read this. I'll just jump to 25 real quick.
Man.
Go ahead, Shar. I'll find it.
Just we already read it earlier. I want to read it again though, because you said he expected the victory.
Yeah.
This is Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. When you go into that word hope goes into expectation, expecting. You know, that's why I wanted to read it real quick, because that's faith, but that's hope. You know, the expectation of things. They expected to win.
Let me read this one.
Exactly.
Verse 21, 2 Maccabees 15. Maccabee is seeing the coming of the multitude of the diverse preparations of armor and the fierceness of the beast, stretched out his hands towards heaven, and called upon the Lord that worketh wonders, knowing that victory cometh not by arms. Victory cometh not by arms, but knowing, all right, but even as it seemeth good with him, he giveth it to them such as are worthy. The Lord gives the victory to the worthy.
Man. And that goes to, I'm gonna just quote it, but that goes into, when they were scared. The same thing with King David when the Israelites were scared because they saw what's in front of them. They're like, man, we can't do nothing with that. What Judas Maccabees was the same thing. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want it?
Yeah, go ahead. If you got it, it's the spirit.
This is the book of First Maccabees 4. You want me to start at the top? Because the point is like really in like verse 8, but it's kind of...
Start at a good point.
Okay. I'm going to start at verse 6 then. It says, but as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their mind. And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed and compassed round about with horsemen. And these were experts of war.
Hey, they were bad.
Experts.
Where you reading from?
Maccabees, First Maccabees 4.
What verse?
Verse 7.
Okay.
Verse 7. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea.
Now pause. Remember.
Mm-hmm.
Our heritage is known for doing that and learning from stories that were set forth for us to believe on him, for us to trust in him, through examples that he laid forth.
Romans 15:4. The things which were written before time were written for our learning.
Right. Go ahead.
Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Now therefore let us cry unto heaven, if peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, remember again, and destroy this host before our face this day.
Now for the young brothers, what does it mean? Therefore let's cry to heaven. What does it mean?
Pray to the Most High.
Right, and faith. Right. Praying, faith. A lot of times in different stories, Jacob was fasting for things couldn't pass, and there was a singleness of mind of help us.
Right.
We believe you can help us. Go ahead.
Check this out. I'm gonna jump over to verse 29 and read verse 30. Verse 31. So they came into Idumea and pitched their tents at Bethsura, and Judas met with them 10,000 men. And when he saw that mighty army, he prayed and said, Blessed art thou, O Savior of Israel, who didst quell the violence of the mighty man by the hand of thy servant David, and gavest the host of strangers into the hands of Jonathan, the son of Saul, and his armor bearer.
And think about this, man. Yahweh Shah celebrated this holiday.
Yeah.
Just to think about that.
Mm-hmm. That's heavy.
He wanted Esau,
Yeah.
he wanted Esau to go
You
down.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. Straight up. Yeah, bro.
You can't get around.
Come on, man.
They got the nerve to say it's not canonical.
Yeah.
It's not part of
But
the
where did the
canon.
holiday come from?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what Jesus' the word said? He said, well, he was just there. And he said,
Yeah, he was just there.
Yeah, right.
He didn't know he was
Okay.
taking part.
well, why didn't he rebuke it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Straight
He
up.
was there celebrating. He said he went there to keep the feast.
Didn't Yahweh Mashiach fulfill the law?
Mm-hmm.
Did he not remember the high holy day?
Right.
So he just
Command,
yeah. When did Yahweh Mashiach on his 33 years on the earth? When did he break the command?
Mm-hmm.
What's the holy days that were for the disciples? What is it, 4? Three.
Yeah,
Three
you got
times a year. What are the 3 holy days in which you have to go to?
Is this a question for everybody?
Disciples.
Atonement, Passover.
Feast of unleavened bread.
Huh?
Feast of unleavened bread.
Passover.
Which is
The Day of Atonement. That's not it.
Go up to Jerusalem and just for fasting.
Everybody's looking at each other. I don't know.
What's after the Passover?
I don't be
Yeah,
trying
what's
to
after
be funny.
you know this one. You know the one he about to say.
What's after the Passover is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But he said that already.
Yeah.
Right? After the Passover, the Feast of
You can
Unleavened
get
Bread.
we can get it in Leviticus 20. I mean, but
Get it.
What chapter?
Leviticus 20.
And see, these little questions like this, you get these, and ask these Christians when they come up. You know what I'm saying? And they not gonna know it.
Right.
Yeah, that was
You got to get them strong jabs in your system. You know what I'm saying? Where they can't get, and that's gonna throw them off. Right. You don't know. All right, let's move on.
Right.
Sincere milk, man.
Yeah, guys, right.
Yahweh Shah was just chilling.
I'm sorry, it's actually Deuteronomy. It is in Leviticus 23 as well, but it's in Deuteronomy 16. It's a little bit quicker. But Deuteronomy 16, it says, observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto Yahweh. For in the month of Abib, Yahweh thy power brought thee forth out of Egypt by night, which we know that's the first one. Then you jump over to verse 9, which is 7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee, begin to the number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put a sickle to the corn, which is the Feast of Weeks. And then you have the Feast of Tabernacles.
right.
Yep.
That's it.
You read about I mean, I just kind of briefly went through it. When you read Deuteronomy 16, it goes through all of them, or the 3 that the elder is talking about.
The reason why I'm looking at it is because the reason why I knew you knew one of them because me and you had a conversation about Pentecost.
Yeah.
We went into detail about it a few months back.
Oh,
It's
okay.
50 because Penta means
Right.
50. Yeah.
The first fruits.
Right.
Pentecost.
Right.
Pentecost.
Yeah, tabernacles.
All right, real quick. This is the last part, and we're gonna finish up on this. But this has to be real. Y'all gonna feel this one. Go back to Hebrews 11.
I got it.
And start at verse 27.
Hebrews
We're
11.
gonna read to verse 35. That's it.
Okay.
This is Hebrews 11, verse 27. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who was invisible.
Okay.
Through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith, they pressed through the Red Sea.
Pass.
Oh, Salaki, my bad.
Same thing. They pressed through too.
By faith, they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land.
Now, how by faith did they do that? Well,
Man.
hey, look, it started with when Moses lifted up that staff. See, a lot of guys, a lot of Israelites, they read that and they think it just happened because it just no, man. It was a decision that Moses had to make within himself through his experiences already dealing with the Lord.
Right.
Okay, because when they went there and it wasn't split at first, they were talking shit.
Yeah.
We should have went back there.
They was talking hella shit.
They were talking shit.
Man.
Why? Because they were scared and they didn't have that sound mind that this is the Lord doing this. He's going to deliver us. And what did Moses say? He basically told them, witness the power of the Lord, the salvation of our God.
I got it right here.
Real quick, read that one little part.
This is Exodus chapter 14, verse 13. And Moses said to the people, fear ye not. Stand still and see the salvation of Yahweh, which he will show you today.
Now he wasn't wavering. He knew in his heart if he did, he knew it was going to split. He knew it.
Right.
That takes a high level of faith to do that. It wasn't just he went there and the sea split because the Lord just split it because.
Right.
All these things play out through his people through faith.
Right.
That's you got to understand. Go ahead.
For the Egyptians, whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. Yahweh shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
Right. Go back to verse 29.
Kind of. Hebrews 11:29. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which the Egyptians essaying to do were drowned.
Remind me of last night we was talking about that. Go ahead.
By faith the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about 7 days. By faith the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believed not, when she had received the spies with peace.
Man, walks of life, faith. Situations, all these are events and situations. Go ahead.
Verse 32. And what shall
now check this out. What he says in verse 32. Go ahead.
And what shall I say? And what shall I more say?
Man, I didn't told y'all all these different stories. Like, what more do you need me to call off?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, for the time would fail me to tell of Gideon, and of Barak, and of Samson, and of Jephthah, of David also, and Samuel, and of the prophets.
He like, look, man, if I told y'all about every single thing, go read it. But if I told y'all about everything, he said the time would fail me.
Yeah.
Talking forever.
Where we at? Where you at?
Hebrews 11:32.
Man, that's heavy. Read that one more time. That's heavy, man.
And what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon, and of Barak, and of Samson, and of Jephthah, of David also, and Samuel, and of the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises.
Because the promises, remember after Abraham had that faith that he became a friend of the Most High, he received the promise.
Right.
And here's to the
So we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for faith.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Seeking afar off that we see that it's close. Right? But we know it's coming. Come on, man.
God.
That's heavy, man. Go ahead.
Who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions.
Daniel.
Daniel and David.
And Samson.
Yeah. And Samson.
Man.
Yep.
You know?
Because you got the lion's den, and then David, when he grabbed the beard of the lion,
and then Samuel was eating.
proving it was a grown ass lion.
Oh,
it had a beard.
Yeah,
Samson literally just. He said this scripture say Samson literally ripped. He said he literally
ripped it out
ripped
with
it
his
in
mouth
two.
open.
He did.
He said he ripped the lion in two with his bare hand.
That joint.
Golly, man.
Bro.
It says, quench the violence of fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and
Right.
Abednego.
Man, hey, this chapter is bad, man. Once you zone in
I'm
on
gonna have to go back and read it again.
ooh, this chapter is bad.
Live show lesson one day.
Oh man, this chapter is bad.
I'll get down, bro.
Hey, read that again.
It says, The Lions one of the
verse 34.
Okay, it says, "Quench the violence of fire, escape the edge of the sword."
It only quenched the violence of fire because they believed that the Lord was going to not let them get burned, even though they were in the fire. Come on, man. That's the power of Israel. It's not of ourselves, but we are able to tap into that just by pure belief.
Being the sons of God.
How much more on the little things? You talking about fire and lines. You talking about make the work, car ain't working, car won't start up. Come on, man.
Argument with your wife. You know what I'm saying?
That's small pea shit. Right.
Man.
So what is the Spirit saying? We got to get over that shit.
Man.
Let's leave that shit behind. Or the old man back in the world. The new man is what we read.
Level one. This chapter here is literally telling you, man, level up.
Right.
Right. This is a beautiful chapter. I'm gonna go back and read this whole chapter again.
And to what you're just saying, Yahweh Shah was telling them to level up.
Exactly.
The boat, different things. Level up. Why you doubt? Why you don't believe? Just believe, man. Golly. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Bro, Yahweh Shai had so much faith that Yahweh rose him from the dead, bro.
Yeah, it was born in him.
He was that sacrifice. The sacrifices under the first covenant, they had died. But this sacrifice rose.
Right. Yeah,
man.
Straight up.
That what he did is forever.
Right.
Eternal priest.
Finish verse 34 and then verse 35 and then we'll close up.
I
got a precept.
Okay. Well, we're going to close up and we keep going. Go ahead.
Verse 34. "Quench the violence of fire, escape the edge of the sword. Out of weakness were made strong. Wax valiant and fight. Turn to flight the armies of the aliens."
Of the heathens. Go ahead.
"Women received their dead raised to life again."
That didn't happen? Of course it did. Hey, matter of fact, that's a story where there were men laughing and thought it was a joke? Or they would mock him, or basically, in other words, they didn't have belief in the Lord, and Yahweh Shai had them get out.
Yeah, they can raise.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection. The second Maccabees 7, man.
The 7 brothers.
Spiritual men know they're coming back.
Man.
They knew. But this is the time where this is it.
Man, that's cold. Even it's funny you just said that because I'm not sure if you heard when you walked in, but earlier we spoke about Abraham in that same chapter, 11th chapter, and it spoke. Yeah. You know,
I never caught it when I first read it, man.
It spoke about that Abraham was keeping in mind that he could resurrect Isaac back up after he sacrificed him. So they knew about resurrection way back then. You know what I'm saying? Even though you still have people who didn't believe it, from that point all the way till we read when Yahweh Shai was on the scene. You had who was it? The sect that didn't believe.
The
Sadducees. Yeah.
No, the Sadducees.
Right?
They didn't believe in
they didn't believe in the resurrection.
Yeah, them. Kind. So, hey, anybody else wanna? Yeah, that's right.
That was it on Hebrews 11.
That's it.
Psalms 99 and start at 5. "Exalt ye the Lord our God and worship at his footstool, for he is holy. Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that called upon his name. They called upon Yahweh, and he answered them. He spoke unto them in the cloudy pillar. They kept his testimonies and the ordinances that he gave them. Thou answerest them, O Yahweh our God. Thou wast a God that forgavest them, though thou tookest vengeance of their inventions. Exalt Yahweh our God and worship at his holy hill, for the Lord our God is holy." So if they called on the name of the Lord, what was they saying?
Right. Man, it's heavy, man. Oh boy. Whew. Anybody's got any scriptures?
I got one right here.
Yes.
This 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 1.
What's like? Can you call it?
2 Peter 3 and 1. It says, "This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by the way of remembrance.
Oh, hey, he's stirring up our pure minds of remembrance of the old things that are written. Is that what you get it?
Exactly.
Right. So,
Educating them.
right.
On something else.
Keep on using these examples of those men as look.
And that's what
level up.
Hebrews. That's what Hebrews do. Judas Maccabees did it.
Yep.
King David did it to himself.
Yep.
He spoke about himself in things that happened in the past.
That's right.
Of faith and the result of faith.
That's right.
Go ahead.
That ye may be mindful. All right, it goes to remembrance. Mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandments of us, the apostles of the Lord Yahushua and Savior. That's why I wanted to go into that, because this whole lesson was stirring up our pure minds by way of remembrance.
Right.
That enhanced our faith.
That's beautiful.
You know?
Man. That's beautiful. That's it. Anything else? Hey, with that, I want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakodash.
Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to your Akim out there that's fighting sincerely and true. Shalom.
Shalom.